Please, no! Oh, it's you, Corvo. Thank the stars. We all thought you'd been killed. Except for Samuel. He seemed sure you'd survived. I saw him on the river shortly before the killing began. He was smart enough not to come ashore. But I'll bet he's still out there. Looking for you, is my guess. At first, Pendleton said it was time for our bonus. Havelock stood behind them, and at the signal, he shot them each in the back of the head. Just like the target drills he used to. Lydia barely had time to scream. I would be dead too. Except Wallace told me I wouldn't be getting anything. Pendleton kept apologizing, saying that no one could ever know about the things they'd done. Martin was drinking and seemed sad. The Admiral was about to shoot Callista. Then he mumbled something about owing her uncle, Captain Kurnow, a debt. They said it was time for Sokolov, and went off to his cage. I don't know what happened after that. Emily was there when the killing started. Poor child. I hope she hid her eyes. The Admiral said that Martin was right. I guess they talked about it. And they started to worry they'd get executed for all that they'd done, going after the Lord Regent and his allies. I suppose it's why they've poisoned you too.
Make it to tonight. Will you look at this mess? Relax. One of the... Sir said he was dead. Poison thrown in the river. He can't stay hidden forever. Said he was dead. Poison thrown in the river. If you ask me, he's long gone. There's a mask in the river, left out.
That's what a rational person would do. Not this guy. You have to understand the
I thought Lydia would squeal on me at the end. She just told Havelock to screw himself. And died.
cover of the tall boys out back.
Like you were, the other night.
What was I supposed to do? Stand there and get hit by rocks?
They were just kids.
They were a gang. I hope Lord Regent Havelock sends the tall boys in to level the place. It's gonna be a new era.
Having a 10-year-old on the throne isn't gonna cure the plague.
High Overseer Martin says it will. He said we were cursed when the Empress died.
Orville's black magic. And the rats
are never gonna leave until we had a real Cauldron back. He says the outsider follows Corvo around.
There's some curse on this city. That's right.
I'm still trying to forget what
The flooded district.
What was that?
Said he was dead. Poison thrown in the river. If you ask me, he's long gone. There's a mask in the river, left out.
That's what a rational person would do. Not this guy. You have to understand the criminal mind. I hear they had to hide the Cauldron girl from him, the whole time they were working with him. I heard they locked him in a cage, and only let him out at night.
The criminal mind, huh? So what's he doing now?
Watching us right now.
With that crazy mask on, creeping closer and closer, ever closer, until...
Cut it out. What's so impressive about Corvo, anyway? Who's he got up against?
Couple of high overseers and...
Couple of noblemen? He could never stand up to men with our training.
Well, now I do hope he shows up. I want to see you run crying for the cover of the tall boys out back.
Like you were, the other night.
What was I supposed to do?
It's refreshing to converse with someone on my own level.
Couldn't agree more. Your expulsion from the Academy was a crime against natural philosophy itself.
Which you might have pointed out at the time. But it's pointless to hold a grudge. I want to ask you...
About the elixir, yes. And I need to discuss your tonic. Why have you not... Corvo, good to see that you still breathe. The city would not be the same if you were not with us. I've completed Piero's work on an arc pylon. It's only just.
With this device, we can send a powerful electrical signal through the nervous system, merely rendering our enemies unconscious, or they can be reduced to ashes. I've attuned it so that we will be safe from the functions of the device. It will only trigger in the presence of our enemies. This arc pylon is more powerful than the older design. It will function at a greater range, striking down our foes while ignoring us. I need my final sequence, which is recorded in the blueprint for this device. Havelock was inspecting it before the killing started. Return the blueprint to me. It was in his bedroom before he left. Hopefully, it's still there. You may navigate the fields of battle with ease, but Sokolov and I are not as gifted in the same way. Without the arc pylon, it is only a matter of time before they put an end to us. It's working. Or you can go out and remove our enemies one by one, whichever you think is best.
Our men are still trying to penetrate the workshop. I think Piero Joplin's inside. Crackpot, natural philosopher.
There is evidence that Anton Sokolov was held here against his will for some time. I can't determine what happened to him.
Nice.
What? Why is no one making rounds over here?
This better not be a joke.
Update.
Our men are still trying to penetrate the workshop. Those are tight. I think Piero Joplin's inside. Crackpot, natural philosopher.
There is evidence that Anton Sokolov was held here against his
What?
will for some time. Why is no one making rounds over here?
This better not be a joke.
Nice.
This better not be a joke. What?
Why is no one making rounds over here?
This better not be a joke.
What? Why is no one making rounds over here?
Things are bad. Could the city get any worse?
Chances are very good.
Astonishing! The arc pylon is complete. Now to activate it.
With this device, we can send a powerful electrical signal through the nervous system, merely rendering our enemies unconscious. Or they can be reduced to ashes.
What is your opinion, Corvo? As you wish, Corvo. We will be far away before any of them regain their senses. All is ready, Corvo. All that remains is plugging in a whale oil tank to power it. Will you do the honors?
When this arc pylon is charged, no one will dare come near us.
Amazing. It functioned beyond my greatest expectations. It defies description. A device like this will ensure Dunwall's security for a century.
killed everyone to cover it all up. Then they took Emily with them and they left. I couldn't do anything to protect her. Please find her. Make her safe. All his talk of being an honorable military man, but Havelock will use Emily like a puppet to his own advantage. Something changed in the Admiral as soon as the Lord Regent died. It had been building up. Martin was acting strange, going quiet if any of us were near, whispering late into the night with Havelock and Pendleton while you were out doing the real work. I think they realized they were one step away from holding the same position the Lord Regent had, and worried they'd be held accountable for what they did here, as the Loyalists. They would have killed me too, but Havelock spared me. Out of respect for my uncle, I believe. Please, talk to Sam Hayes and the others. Someone must know where they're going. Find Emily. She's suffered through so much, and she's got no one else on her side except you. Samuel set this here in case you returned. You can use it to call him. He said he'd come quickly. Hopefully there's a place he can dock where the watch won't see him. I can't go with you.
Thought I'd find you here. It never pays to bet against you, does it? I saw the signal. I knew you'd be back, Corvo. I knew it. We'll need to get out of here soon. The Admiral controls the military now, Martin's High Overseer, and Pendleton's in favor with the aristocracy and Parliament. They need Emily, of course. But if Havelock senses that it's all about to fall down around him, who knows what he's liable to do. Good. Then it's one more trip across the river to where it meets the sea. That's where the Lord Regent was building his new lighthouse. Ought to be something to see. This is it, sir. I suspect Havelock Martin and Lord Pendleton landed there a while ago and went into the lighthouse. Knowing them, they're not giving up without a fight. I remember hearing the Admiral and Martin talking about this place as where they'd hold up if they had to. Anybody going in has to breach the fort, the gatehouse. Then there's only one way to the top. All I can say is that it's been a pleasure serving with you. Maybe after all this is settled, we'll see each other again. Good luck, Corvo. If anyone deserves it, you do. Give my best to Emily. After she's on the throne, she won't have time for an old man like me. I knew you were sharp, Corvo. But somehow you managed to get through all this mess without losing sight of what really matters. For that, I respect you. The city's gonna pull itself up, I believe. Too many good people here to let it all turn to ashes. I'd best be going. The battlefield's no place for an old sailor like me. That time is long past. Good luck, my friend. Emily. After she's on the throne...
Can I buy your ration of elixir from today? Please, not now.
Someone there? Help!
Just die!
Where'd he go?
Find him!
Seen any more big rat swarms? Anybody with signs of the sickness?
Remember when this was just a dream shared by a few animals? Lord Trevor Penrose, neglected youngest son, bullied by your brother. Martin, such a clever man. Your talents wasted until he found fate. Callista, the nursemaid. Bitter PL, ejected from the academy. Samuel, the useless old man, hungry for purpose. Couldn't do this to him. This is all Martin's fault. We hadn't helped Corvo get out of prison. Corvo hadn't been so damn good at his job. We hadn't gotten greedy, afraid. If. Always too sure, that was my problem. Never hesitated. Too sure of what I wanted. Too sure of what I wanted to do when other men stopped to consider. Saw it as a weakness. I know Corvo's coming for me just like he came for the others. Crossing the island below like it was nothing. Only a question of how and when. I'm lacking a countermove. It's all fallen apart. All the steps that led us here make sense. When I was young, I went to sea, took command of a ship, and made aimless men into sailors. Made a collection of boats into a navy.
Then founded a conspiracy.
And almost led an empire. No compromise. Never showed mercy. Never showed weakness. I showed the world what mattered. Will and vision. And not being afraid of getting dirty. And now, I'll lose it all to a man with a faster sword hand. Or is it that he has a slower sword hand? There's something wrong with the world. It'll make a good story for the history. I'll have a good epitaph. In his time, he commanded a noble lord, a high overseer, and an empress. The man who brought down a title. Admiral Havelock, son of the High Ocean.
Is it going to be okay now? Will I be Empress?
So ends the interregnum, and now Emily Caldwin I will take her mother's throne after a season of turmoil. You will stand at her side, Corvo, guiding her young mind and protecting her from those who seek to exploit her or cause her harm. You watched and listened when other men would have shouted in rage. You held back instead of striking. So it is, with the passing of the plague and Emily's ascension, comes a golden age, brought about by your hand. And decades hence, when your hair turns white and you pass from this world, Empress Emily, Emily the Wise, at the height of her power, will lay your body down within her mother's great tomb, because you are more to her than royal protector. Farewell, Corvo.
enough for all of the big and the small. Well, the taller they stand, well, the harder they fall. We live for today, but